The first thing I noticed about the alien woman was not her skin, or her eyes, or the faint glow pulsing beneath her veins. It was the way the door sealed shut behind me. No slam, no mechanical hiss, just a soft, final click, as if the universe itself had decided there would be no going back. I stood frozen in the center of the chamber, my breath fogging the air. The walls curved inward like the inside of a living shell, layered with translucent membranes that shimmer between shades of deep violet and pale silver. Symbols moved across them slowly, not projected, but grown like bioluminescent vines. She faced away from me, her tall silhouette framed by a wide observation window. Beyond it stretched the endless black of space, pierced by the faint blue halo of the planet below, Erwin 7, the first confirmed world ruled by a non-human civilization. My mission briefing echoed in my head. Do not provoke. Do not compliment. Do not display dominance or submission. Observe only. I had already failed. She turned. Her face was unmistakably humanoid, yet wrong in ways my brain struggled to categorize. Smooth obsidian skin traced with faint lines of light, eyes larger than human, luminous gold with no visible pupils. Long white hair floated gently, as if gravity itself deferred to her presence. She studied me in silence. The silence stretched. I swallowed. I didn't mean to be rude. Her gaze sharpened, not angry, but intensely curious. You spoke without permission, she said, her voice layered, as if two tones resonated at once. Why? My heart pounded so hard I was sure she could hear it. You asked why my species stared. I answered. I did not ask for flattery. I wasn't flattering, I said before my fear could stop me. I was being honest. The lines beneath her skin brightened, rippling like starlight across water. Explain. I took a slow breath. I told you that you look beautiful. For the first time since humanity made contact with the Aruni, the room changed temperature. Not colder, warmer, charged. Beauty, she repeated carefully, is a word of power among my people. I didn't know. Of course you didn't. She stepped closer, her movements fluid, predatory and graceful all at once. That does not make it meaningless. She stopped inches from me. I could smell the air shift around her, metallic and sweet. Do you understand what happens when a human speaks such a word inside a closed sanctum? She asked. I shook my head. She lifted one elegant hand. The door behind me vanished completely, the wall knitting itself whole where it had once been. You will, she said softly. Middle. Her name was Valith, and she was not merely an alien. She was a sovereign listener, one of the highest-ranking figures in Aruni society, tasked with interpreting foreign minds, emotions, and intentions. Where humans sent diplomats and soldiers, the Aruni sent Valith. And now I was sealed alone in her sanctum. You are afraid, she observed. Shouldn't I be? That depends. She circled me slowly. Are you afraid because you insulted me or because you didn't? I don't understand. No, she said, almost amused. You don't. She gestured, and the chamber shifted. The walls peeled back, revealing a living projection, memories, not images. I saw her world. Vast crystalline cities grown from the planet itself, towering spires alive with light and song. I saw Aruni children floating in low-gravity fields, their laughter echoing like chimes. You see, beauty, she said. But among my people, beauty is not passive. It is a declaration. The vision shifted again. I saw Valeth younger, standing before a council of towering figures. I felt judgment pressing down like gravity. To name something beautiful, she continued, is to claim resonance with it, to acknowledge a bond. My throat went dry. I didn't mean. Intent does not erase consequence, she interrupted. Only truth does. She stopped the projection. The chamber returned. Why did you say it? She asked quietly. I hesitated. Then I answered honestly. Because when you turned and looked at me, you didn't look like a conqueror. You looked lonely. The light beneath her skin flickered violently. Loneliness, I would later learn, was a forbidden concept among the Aruni. To admit it was to admit fracture, imperfection. You see too much, she said. Maybe, I replied, or maybe your people hide too much. Silence fell again, heavy, dangerous. Then, unexpectedly, she laughed. It wasn't a human sound. It resonated through the chamber, vibrating in my bones. You are either extraordinarily foolish, she said, or uniquely compatible. With what? With me? She raised her hand again, and pain shot through my skull. Not agony, but pressure, like 1,000 fingers pressing inward. I dropped to one knee. This is a resonance trial. Valeth said, you have already triggered it. Now we see if you survive. Images flooded my mind. Her memories, her thoughts, the weight of centuries of responsibility, the terror of being revered but never touched, admired but never known. I felt her isolation like a wound, and she felt my fear, my stubborn hope, my relentless human tendency to speak when silence would be safer. You are fragile, she whispered inside my mind. So are you. I thought back, without meaning to. She recoiled physically. No human had ever spoken back through a sovereign link. The trial ended abruptly. I collapsed onto the smooth floor, gasping. Valeth stared down at me. Something new in her eyes. Recognition. You did not break, she said. I almost did. Almost is not enough. She extended her hand. I hesitated, then took it. Her touch sent warmth through my body, grounding me. From this moment, she said, you are no longer merely an observer. You are bound. To what? To the consequences of your honesty. Days or cycles, as the Aruni measured time, passed. I remained in the sanctum, not a prisoner, but not free. Valeth visited often. We spoke. We argued. We learned each other's fears. She told me of her duty, to determine whether humanity was a threat worthy of annihilation or assimilation. I told her about Earth, about oceans, music, and the strange human habit of finding beauty even in things that hurt. You would call destruction beautiful? She asked. No, I said, but we sometimes find meaning in surviving it. Her people watched us closely. The bond between a sovereign listener and an off-worlder had never happened before. Whispers spread. Then came the ultimatum. The High Conclave summoned Valeth. Humanity's fate would be decided, and I was brought with her. Ending. The conclave chamber dwarfed anything I had seen before. It was open space itself, shielded by a transparent field that made the stars feel close enough to touch. 12 towering Aruni figures formed a circle, their forms radiating authority. Valeth stood beside me. Human, one of them intoned, you spoke a word of claim to our sovereign. Why? I met their gaze. my voice steady despite the fear clawing at my chest. Because it was true. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Truth is not safety, another said. No, I agreed, but it's a beginning. They turned to Valeth. You've been altered. Yes, she said simply, by understanding. You risk contamination. I gain clarity. Silence fell. Then the question that would decide everything. Valeth. The conclave said, does humanity deserve existence among the stars? She looked at me. In that moment, I realized something profound. This was never about beauty. It was about being seen. They are flawed, Valeth said. Impulsive, fragile, dangerous. My heart sank, but she continued, her voice resonating through the void. They are capable of resonance without conquest, of truth without dominance. The light beneath her skin flared brilliantly. I choose coexistence. The conclave hesitated. Then, one by one, their lights dimmed in agreement. Humanity was spared. Later, back in the sanctum, Valeth faced me once more. The door stood open now. You are free to leave, she said. I didn't move. Why? She asked. I smiled faintly. Because I know what that door means now. She tilted her head. And what does it mean? It means you don't have to close it anymore. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then she stepped closer, her presence warm and radiant. Human, she said softly, do you still find me beautiful? Yes, I answered, but not because of how you look. And why, then? Because you listened. She reached past me. The door closed, not behind me, but beside us. And for the first time in Aruni history, a sovereign chose to stay.